Well, welcome back to the XC Tech Garage. We're going to continue on our series on the new 890 Adventure R. So I'm really enjoying putting together, building this bike, and you know, the overall bike has got some amazing pieces and parts on it. And you know, just like anything, I can't leave it alone. And number two, there's some things that that I want to kind of make them my way. Number three, there's some things that just need a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of editing. You know, again, overall the bike has been amazing, but I found some things as I'm riding both on and off road that just really wanted to, you know, adapt to my liking. The one that we're working on now is actually going to be the mirrors. So we're going to look to eliminate the Mickey Mouse ears, as they call them. With that, we're going to put on a set of foldable or fold-up mirrors. We actually purchased these from Rottweiler Performance. Again, as always, this video is not sponsored. Didn't get the product for free. Didn't get any discounts on it. Purchased it myself with the intent of seeing how that helps clean up the look. Gives me better visibility. The Mickey Mouse ears here are really prone to catching much more of my shoulders than they are what's going on in my periphery and in my rear view. So I've read some really good reviews on those mirrors, on the new mirrors, and so I want to see how that helps from a visibility. Number two, we get a little bit of buffeting on the bike. That you know, between checking out the helmet and checking out my screen settings and stuff, I've been able to adapt a little bit. But actually rode one time without these mirrors on, and it was amazing the difference that I received. A lot cleaner air. For those, you know, again, who riding, you know, do adventure bike or ride on the road, you know that, you know, there's kind of a combo of whether you're getting blocked from the air and or being able to get clean air. And so on these bikes, I've seen that buffeting that goes on no matter what helmet I'm wearing. You know, I ride in very nice helmets. I've got Shoeies and Bell, you know, Bell Carbons and an Arise. And so, you know, it's not been a matter of a helmet. It's just a matter of some of the front end pieces going on. So it looks like those mirrors are supposed to help with that. So we'll see how that goes. I'll definitely give a review after we get it all done. And then just for overall looks, getting rid of the big monster mirrors. Did look at a couple other variants. I've got you know, double takes that I've had on my 350s and 500s. Those have been really good on the dirt bikes and the single track bikes and my small dual sports. I really like those, and I think they kind of fit in with what we need to do. On this bike, I really liked what Rottweiler did with coming up with their handguard mounts. This time we're going to mount them on the factory guards, which is what they designed them for, but I have seen them adapted to aftermarket guards. There's actually a plan as I get these torn up, which I'm sure they will. I'm going to go ahead and get a set of the factory aluminum guards that are made by, I believe they're made by Flex, if I remember correctly. I'll have to go back and look on that one. But they actually can be adapted for that as well. So we're going to start with the factory guards, mount them as the way they were designed. We'll try them out and see what we think, and then yeah, we'll continue to adapt and continue to build. And I'm excited for seeing what happens from an air perspective. So continuing to clean up that air on the front of the bike. So stay tuned, and we're going to get this build up tonight. So the continuing on in our mirror modification here on the 2021 890 Adventure. First thing we got to do, we're going to get rid of the big Mickey Mousers. So get rid of these big monsters that are up here. Again, they've been, you know, they're good mirrors, but frankly, they just don't do what we need to do. So on this, on the right-hand side mirror, the turnbuckle nut is actually a counterclockwise. For those of you watching in, and you go to do this yourself, if you're going to put on different mirrors on this, I know some folks that have put on the double take mirrors and used adapters, which I think those are nice. I still wonder, you know, how they do on buffeting. Maybe some folks, you know, watching in could comment and say, hey, I run the double takes and they're better. But you know, when you do those, you've got to take off all the existing mirror mounts. So with that, counterclockwise on the top locking nut, on the bottom locking nut, it's actually reverse thread. So you can see there, you got to go clockwise to get that guy off there. So we'll go on ahead and get our mirror off here. And you got to actually undo both nuts in order to take that off. And these guys are pretty stiff. So the mirror will come off, and then you'll actually take the mount off. And I'll show you here in just a few. Rottweiler has actually included some mirror caps. So I know some folks will go and put on the ram balls so that you can actually mount up ram mounts or do other things. On this one, I'm going to go on and include the caps. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet. Maybe I'll eventually put a accessory ball on there. Not sure. Just so you're aware, a little bit of tool information. So 14 millimeters is what we're using here to take these guys off. So get rid of these big guys, and we'll keep moving here. Now on the opposite side mirror, this one is actually, you're going to see that the mirror does the same thing. You actually got to go counterclockwise with the nut. Sorry, clockwise with the upper nut. Standard thread, and then you're going to get standard thread on the bottom guy as well. So got that mirror and the mount off. Again, we're going to wind up putting plugs to fill those in. Rottweiler includes in their kit those plugs, so we'll throw those on. We'll save that till the end, a little bit of finish up step. So the next thing we got to do here is we actually, in order to prep our handguards for the mount, Rottweiler included this great little template that's on there. It gives you a way to figure out where you need to mark and drill your holes. So we're going to put this template on. In fact, I'm going to use a little tape. I saw a previous review where they actually did a very similar thing. So we're going to tape this guy on here. You'll see that it's marked by driver's side or right side, left side. So this one we're working on the left-hand side. And I actually saw, again, a review that I thought was pretty smart that a gentleman went and took and not only taped it on there, but actually folded this in half versus trying to lay it out on the entire bar. He folded it on half. So we're going to throw a little tape on this guy, see if we can get this on here. So we're working on what would be the left side guard. So this is the bottom of the left side. And it's kind of hard to see here. You'll have to trust me on this, but there's actually, you're going to do a half. So you're going to kind of split the end of the guard here. We're going to split this and actually get the top and bottom of the guard in place. And the perfectionist will come out of me. We'll see how well they got these lined up. Looks pretty good. Looks like, in fact, I may not even tape it here. We're going to see if we can just poke some holes through the piece. So we'll go ahead and set this on here. I got the bolt lined up. I got my upper and lower pieces lined up. Let's see how they kind of want you to get this in here a little bit. So you'll see there's lines for kind of everything on here. We're focused on, we're going to have these two holes here that I'm going to take this little pin, and I'm going to poke my two holes through into the guard. Hopefully I got something to show up there. Appears so. We got two little pokes here. Then we're going to wind up drilling through this guard. The perfectionist will come out of me, a little bit of OCD. I'm going ahead and check this just to make sure. I feel like I've got it lined up. I do like the template. It's good that they don't have just a measurement. And the template appears to be pretty well lined up, which is
Got to give credit to them. Somebody got it scaled right.
I'm sure there's a little bit of buffer in this. At least I hope there's a little bit of buffer in it. I know the biggest thing here is you're trying to make sure that you can clear your clear your brake levers when you're inside. So we're going to swap here. We're going to do the right hand side. Same thing again.
And I saw the tape idea. I like the tape idea. This feels like it works just about as good. Do the same thing again. And come in here, place our holes. And the key on this template, I think, is getting this guy flat in here. And I see it looks like it's going through right in that exact spot. So check it out one more time here. Sure I got everything lined up the way I want. Suggestion, I would love to see if Rottweiler, for the price of the kit, might throw in a sticker. I know that sounds a little goofy, but if you actually had a sticker, you'd go and put that down on there as a template. I think that would be could be advantageous. So we got both of those marked. Again, got both of them with a little bit of a pin prick in them. Here goes. See if we got her lined up. So 1/4 inch drill bit, I believe a 1/4 6 millimeter is what's called out. Yep, 1/4 inch hole. So try to keep this straight and lined up. Keep everything nice and there's hole number 1. Hole number 2. That came out all right. Get rid of our shavings. Oh, I'm going to get our seat here. And this video will run a little long instead of fast tracking it. We're going to do the full piece here. You can see everything being done. So be careful when you're drilling. Make sure you don't run it into your levers or go too fast and wind up making a big mess. You are drilling plastic, so in this case, again, since we don't have the aluminums on here right now, not too bad. So now we got to take and install the mounts, and these are going to go. At least for the stock application, they go inside. I've seen in some cases where folks are able to use them, going the opposite way, but this time we're going to go inside with those. Sorry, they're going to set inside the guard as well. So got to get the right guy here. They're actually lined up, so we got to find the one. They've got the diagram here, so these are keyed just a little bit. And actually, we're going to drop a little bit of blue Loctite. Anytime you're doing motorcycle stuff, Loctite is your friend, especially if it's off-road. Don't want to be driving down the road and vibrating your Farkle off on the ground, as they say. I'll probably offend somebody, but it's not a Harley, so all the parts are supposed to stay on it. They're not supposed to be off on the ground. So Let's see here. So this will be should be a 4mm we're going to put in. So we're going ahead and get these guys mounted up. So 4mm. Get the first one started there. So ordering with Rottweiler, pretty straightforward. Found these online, ordered them direct from their website. Dropping bolts here. They processed the order and shoot, I think it took, I think it was same day as a matter of fact. So pretty quick. The idea here to get let's see here, they both started. There we go. So got them both started here. I'm going to get in the way of the camera for just a minute here. So we're going ahead and snug these guys up. They are going into plastic, so that's the reason you want to use a little Loctite on them, but you don't need to go crazy with them. The plastic provides a little compression. So there's our first mount on. Went ahead and Loctite these bolts. Got nice stainless hardware like that. Nice to keep things on a bike that sees both on and off road. Make sure that you try to keep the rust at bay as best as possible. So same thing again, got to start both of these guys in here. Oops. Grabbing the wrong one. I wondered why that didn't fit. Jumping ahead. So just lightly start a few turns each bolt. Then you can slowly work on getting those tightened down. I didn't see anything that they referenced to torque. I'm a torque guy. So I always like to torque where I can. In this case, didn't do that, so I don't know that you have to. So oh, well, my bad. I may have to open my hole up a little bit here. I may have had a little bit of miss. All good. I think they gave a little bit of clearance. That's what happens when you let engineers run power tools and use templates. See if we've got enough clearance now. We're going to have a bunch more upcoming videos on this bike. Going to be putting a bunch of different pieces and parts on it. Looking forward to getting some of that together. Hopefully everybody will tune in and tell us what they think. Always appreciate comments. If we're doing it wrong, yell at us. Doing it right, definitely make sure you like. Ideally, subscribe. Well, I was close on that, by the way. I probably should have taped that template. Shame on me. Should have known better. We'll go ahead and snowman out the hole a little bit. Hopefully not too bad. So, hopefully not too bad. Again, this is where I think sticker would have been nice. My fault, not from Rottweiler, that's for sure. I'm sure they're like, hey, if you tape that template down or hold that template down right, you won't have that problem. So definitely user error. So let's see if we can get this guy in here. Of course, the first one would go easy. That's how this works. Maybe do the front one for the, do the back one for the front one. Maybe it's more than user error. Yeah, I've got it's like my spacing is a little bit off. Not really taking much out of this, but just need enough to luckily plastic, not the end of the world. That's why we're going to use some Loctite and some others to make sure that we hopefully don't tear everything up. Did a great job of keeping these precise. Well, not me, but Rottweiler did. Well, see what we can come up with here. May take a quick break, a little measure off, and see what I can come up with. Give us just a moment. Welcome back. Just had a little intermission. Actually found out what my problem was. Just had a plastic burr that had inside the mount. So we're just finishing up getting the right side mount on here. Nothing like a little bit of plastic shaving to cause you to not be able to get your bolts seated the way they needed to. So we're just like I said, on the bolts on these don't need to go crazy tight. You'll see that they kind of start to tuck into the plastic just a little bit. We've got blue Loctite that's going on them, so don't need to go again. Don't need to go crazy. We're going to look here on our levers as well. So I like to do that on anytime I'm modifying stuff around the periphery to make sure I've got good clearance. So I'll make sure I get some pictures so everybody can see it. But we've got a good finger clearance inside there on the clutch side, on the brake side. We are clear on the brake side, a little closer than I want. So what we'll do when we get done, we're going to take one of these controls. We're just going to bump that control over just a little bit. In fact, let's do that right now. We'll give it just a little bit more. Keep in mind from the factory, you can adjust. So we're going to take that original perch clamp, which is where the mirror mounted, and we're going to go on ahead and move this guy over just a little bit. Not a lot, but just enough to get me a little more clearance over there. And actually, I like to tuck these down just a tiny bit. Get our controls in there where they're We've got pretty good clearance there. I like to run my levers down just a little bit, not crazy, but just enough where I can actually reach down to my brake instead of reaching up to my brake. So, and we'll fine tune these. You know, it's really kind of user preference. You know, how you like your controls run. You can decide if you want them up a little bit down. You know, I would say just because I'm a guy who likes to, I don't stand up all the time. I like to stand up a lot, but there's times where it's good to take a rest. Even as a guy who's run off-road a lot, I know the value in being able to take a break, sit down, catch a breather, you know, in those transition sections. So we've got that one moved. Got really good clearance now. So got where we need to in there. That should get us what we need. So next up, we're going to put the mirrors on. I believe these are universal. We'll find out. I already had the plastic shaving get me, so we'll see if we can get this part right. Supposedly these are universal left or right. You just gotta, so you take out I believe that's a 3 millimeter. You'll take this out, and we'll actually get the mirror on here. Go over the clamp. Get that down on there. And these all eventually lock tight. Probably I'll work on riding around, see where I like them, make sure that they meet what I need, get my visibility where I want them, and then we'll actually be able to get the mirrors all set. So I'm going ahead and seat that in there. Like I said, I'll come back and we'll get all the tweaking we need done. But so this is how the mirrors work. So you've got the ability to be in kind of the out position here. You can be in kind of this quarter, and then you can actually bring them, all the way in. Now, again, that's going to be one where you're going to have a hard time grabbing your clutch and brake and all that stuff. So you're probably going to keep it up, keep it up in the air. It gives you an ability to keep it out of the way. So, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, ideally, they're going to run out here most of the time, even in the woods, frankly. And if not, going to bring them up, probably into this position that we need as well. So that'll get me majority of what I need. I'm not running single track on this guy. If you were, I'll be honest, you might want to think about, what kind of options you need. This is really, intended to be, again, a true dual sport or a true adventure option versus your full single track. That's what the trusty steed over there is for. Is if I'm going to be in something where I'm going to be bar banging heavy, I'll take something that's definitely more suited to that. Not that it can't be done on this, but that's why you have more than one bike. So there's no, as a good friend would say, there's no such thing as too many bikes. So going ahead and get this final one in here. And we'll get some aiming done when we get done. I'm not going to do that right away, but spend some time here post video to get them all aimed up the way I want. So I like the mounts. I like how they've really adapted, kind of that bar end to get the ability to run, inboard and outboard. Even still, it's amazing. There's still clearance there. Even in an emergency grab situation. Now I can see where you're standing up if you're gonna run into that. If I'm gonna be standing up, I'm probably gonna run. Again, run these in some sort of outer position. Don't have to run into wrists or something. I saw somebody comment. They said, what happens if you're up in the air and get in a crash? Well, again, this all folds and moves. So frankly, I don't think they're any more risque than the Mickey Mouse ears over here. In fact, I've seen people get kind of skewered by those Mickey Mouse ears. So that's the mirrors mounted up. Like I said, we'll get some adjustments. I'll go ahead and kind of wrap up the last piece here, and Again, Rottweiler was nice enough to include these little mirror caps. So, you know, I may eventually do something with those holes, but for now we'll go ahead and plug those up and at least keep dirt and grime and stuff from getting inside of them. That looks nice. Fits really well. I don't think those are going to vibe out. Well, that was what should have been just a couple minutes. I encourage you, if you're putting those on yourself, again, make sure you use some blue Loctite. Make sure when you're drilling your holes that you know, when you're putting your nuts or bolts through, in my case, don't get a little bit of plastic inside there. Caused me a little bit of issue. They did a great job on the template. Everything lines up. They look nice. We'll get them all tuned in here and get them set to my liking. Excited to see how those work. I'm also looking forward to, I understand that these have a lot less vibration than some of the longer mirrors, with not having that big lever arm, that Mickey Mouse here up on top of it, that big tall stock. I think that's going to make a difference. And obviously, ultimately, what I'm looking for is the arrow to try to clean up the air. But man, that you know, really impressed. That does a really good job. I mean, just really brings the bike down from an overall height perspective. The only thing I didn't think about is off-road, you know, with brush and other stuff. You know, I really have got a lot more protection now. Even, I mean, frankly, even these in the outer stage, you know, are a lot less than those big mirrors. When you think about these big ears that are up on top here, you know, it's a pretty measurable difference. So, nice job to Rottweiler on creating the kit. I will say, for those of you looking it up, it's pretty pricey. You know, you can thank CRG for that. You know, made in America, really nice mirrors. It's expected. You can tell the quality is there. Rottweiler does an amazing job on these mounts. They really got everything lined up. A nice, great little kit. You got real glass. The glass is, wow, the glass is clear. I see what they talk about. It is replaceable, so you got a single screw. You can take the glass out and replace it. So should you have a big drop or a hard enough hit where you shatter the glass, you're not gonna take out those mirrors. You'll get a chance to replace the glass in them. The other thing I've heard is that you know, in the event that anything happens, and it seems pretty logical here, you know, if you take a good enough hit, if I come by and smack something, or you know, I drop over on the ground, these are going to have a tendency to fold in. Where I know I have seen actually on my dirt bike, I had an issue originally where I broke some perches because those mirrors just were a nice big lever arm. These, frankly, I think worst case, if they did break off, you pack them in your bag and, you know, get some new mounts, you know, make some minor updates, but don't run the risk of breaking off a perch where I can't get home with a clutch or a brake. So yeah, nice piece of kit. Excited to see how these go. So stay tuned. We've got some more stuff. We're going to be working on skid plates. We got the license plate holder on from PowerCell. Actually, we did a little foot that's on the stand on this to help in dealing with sand and mud as we set the bike over, so it doesn't drop in. Yeah, got some cool pieces that are coming up here, and continue to put miles on it and get her broke in. Stay tuned for more. Join us again in the garage here.